All right, what is up, crew? How is everybody doing? Happy Saturday, day 6 of the challenge. How's everybody feeling so far? How are things going? Are you guys implementing the morning routine, evening routine, and setting yourself up for success? Last night I packed my bag for the day, so this morning I was able to just grab it, run out the door, and be ready to go. Helped me a lot less stress because I had a phone call come in that I had to take, and yeah, it just ended up I was already ready to roll. Otherwise, I would have been running late, would have been stressed. I had to go get gas before I headed into the gym today, so having that already ready and taken care of was a huge win for me, and helped me just have a smooth morning. So curious to see how you guys are doing. What have you noticed either helping, or maybe you didn't do your routine and it threw you off, and so it shows you, hey, you know what, setting myself up for success is actually a nice thing. I want to keep doing that. So today we're going to talk about gratitude, and the best practices for doing that. So let's go ahead and just get into it. All right. So when we talk about gratitude, a lot of us have heard, potentially, I know a lot more people teach, like, hey, when you're doing gratitude, pick out write a list of, all the things you're grateful for, and, just keep doing that as a practice every day. So when we talk about actually changing our state of being into a state of more of a gratitude state of being, there's more effective ways of doing that. What I do think the list tool is good for is to start getting our mindset focused on better things, more things that we're grateful for, and opening our mind to see, okay, you know what, like, in times of stress, I still have a lot to be really grateful for. Okay, and I think that's a really good tool to do. So if you guys want to add that in, and hey, start writing your list, start doing that as part of your mindset week, great, do that. I know one way that I really utilized the tools is going for gratitude walks. When I was having a really, really stressful time, and if this comes up again, if I'm struggling, it's because we're getting caught up in all of the, woe is me, and oh, life's so tough, and yeah, hey, life is hard, and things happen, but we need to be sure that we're not losing sight of all the beauty that we have, right? Even in our darkest times, there's still beauty around us, there's still beauty within us, and we just need to start training our minds to see that, and having that be more of the initial response, instead of focusing on the negative, focusing on the hard stuff. Okay, so gratitude walks was one way that I really utilized that part of it, and got my mind focused on other things, right? Also, we won't get into how beneficial walking is today, but we'll talk about that more in week 3 when we talk about fitness routines. And just getting out and walking is so beneficial for you, especially for mental health and de-stressing. And so think about, on that walk, maybe it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You guys can take, a picture of you out walking, video of you walking, right? There's all ways that you guys can contribute and get points towards the prizes. But, thinking about, what are the things you're grateful for? When I was really in the middle of the hard stress, it was hard to get my mind there. And so being able to go on this walk, and at first it was, like, I'm just grateful that there's trees, and there's, fresh air, and I'm grateful for my legs being able to walk, things like that. And then it started to open that part of my mind where, all right, well, now I can be grateful for I can start to dig into all of the other things I have, and you start to realize, like, okay, I have it really good, even though I'm going through something tough. And it helps alter the way you view your reality at that point, right? So check those out. give it a try. I think that's a really good way of using either of those, making the list or doing a gratitude walk. But the best way of actually altering our state of being. So if we talk about gratitude is like a vibration, right? And we want to alter our state of being into being in a state of gratitude. And the best way of doing that is actually recalling an event or watching an event, whether it's something that happened to you or something you witnessed. And what it is you want to recall somebody having given something to another person, and that person receiving that with a lot of gratitude, right? Being so grateful for the gift, whatever that may have been. So I would say you guys will get, let's say, double points. You guys will get double points if you can just go out and spread gratitude, right? And let us know about it. What did you do today? What did you do tomorrow? How are you spreading gratitude? So for example, and it's really important. So here's some key points that can actually change whether it's actually gonna pull you into a state of gratitude or kind of cheapen that experience. And so Huberman Lab actually did a study on this, and they noticed that, there we are. So Huberman did a podcast on this, and what they realized is that when studying the state of being and pulling yourself into gratitude, even just listening to somebody share their experience where they were so grateful, everybody else's brains lit up that they were also having that same response, same type of gratitude feeling, and they were getting that as well. So that lets us know that we don't just have to be the ones witnessing. We can hear a story about it. We can understand because we put ourselves in that position because we know what it feels like. So when you're doing this practice, what I like about it is it's so much more simplified than just sitting down and creating a list every single day. I guess that's pretty simple, but once you get it down, it's really quick. So the main parts that you need to do is write down some bullet points, recall a time where you felt really, really grateful, or you witnessed somebody feeling really, really grateful. Maybe you gave a really awesome gift to somebody and they were so grateful, and that lights us up, right? Or maybe somebody gave you a gift and you felt lit up because you were also so grateful, okay? So you want to recall a time where that happened, or you could have witnessed it, right? So maybe you saw somebody give somebody else a present and it just lit them up with joy, and they were so grateful, and then you felt how joyous that was, okay? So you can write those down. So what you have to bullet point are, one, what was the state of being that the person giving gratitude was in prior? And what was the state of being that the person who got the gratitude was in prior to receiving the gift? And then what was their state of being after, on both accounts, okay? So then you're recalling the actual change in their state of being, okay? And then just a couple bullet points on what was actually given or what the scenario was. And once you have that, the reason why we bullet point is because we don't have to then go through the whole narrative and recall the whole story every single time. All we have to do is look at this list of the bullet points and it pulls us right back in. Okay, so recall a time, do it once where you're really going into the detail and then making some bullet points on what those details were. And then from that point, all you have to do is just go and look at that list and recall it. Okay, and so the formula is that in order to permanently alter your state of being into a state of gratitude, you only need to do this practice 2 to 3 times a week for 1 to 5 minutes each time. So that's where it becomes a lot more simplified as to, oh, well, maybe I don't have to do it every single day, and even creating a list and going through all this every single day writing down 100 things you're grateful for, or however many. It can be kind of time consuming. Okay, so all you have to do is just look at that bullet point list once you make it, sit in that feeling, that vibe of that good gratitude, and just absorb it in for 1 minute to 5 minutes, and do that 2 to 3 times a week. So it's pretty simple. And that is shown scientifically to actually alter your state of being into a state of gratitude, and have a lot more of those mindset shifts where you're actually changing the chemistry of your brain to just be naturally more in a state of gratitude, right? So do the list if you feel like that's really good. It's also, like I said, I think it's good practice to start getting our mind to seeing all the things we should, can be grateful for, especially when we maybe go the opposite direction, or like, oh, well, this is wrong, this, right? Or they're super analytical. So think about all of the things that you're grateful for, create a list or do a gratitude walk, and then also create a list of the bullet points of this narrative that pull you in, and sit with that. I'm curious to see the differences for you and how those work. All right, so that is today's task, and I look forward to seeing you guys later. Bye.